the Twitch is active. And once we know, I can transition our little screen. Still offline. Still offline. Still offline. Okay, I'm guessing my stream key broke or something?
Well, it wouldn't be
No,
Scion
we're
if everything
live.
worked perfectly.
We're live.
Oh, hey, we're live.
Now. Why do you do this to me?
I'm gonna start just so I don't have to put you through that. Hi guys. I'm running Streamlabs and I put Daniel in a very funny position by thinking we weren't live, but we were. So I just want to commend my fellow cast members for not saying anything extremely rude or offensive for the 1 minute that I was setting this up.
Saving that all for the game.
I love all of you, and I'm sorry. You can kill Liam if you like. He is mortal, as of right now. But Daniel, why don't you go ahead?
Hi guys, welcome to episode 11 of Scion. I'm Daniel. I'm going to be GMing tonight, running my good friends through hellacious scenarios and really, really bad spots. Anyway, we're gonna go in and just hop in and say hi to our characters real quick because I am running a blank on everything. Start with Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and tonight I will be playing Vaya, and I'm looking forward to a very interesting evening.
And Crystal.
I am Crystal. I'll be playing Astrid, and I am very curious to see where things are going to go after last time. I don't think they're going to go well.
We'll go.
And Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'll be playing Liam O'Sullivan. Look, I just want to start by saying that I did nothing wrong, and I am a saint. None of this was my fault. I woke up and we were live. I don't know. I mean, I was grocery shopping, blacked out, and now we're live. So I'm doing my best. Tonight I'm playing Liam O'Sullivan, the Astrid's long lost twin who doesn't like her right now, but we have some time to catch up, I think, or murder each other. Either way, Southpaw's here for it. So
All right. So to catch us up real quick, who can tell us where we left off from last game and what the party had accomplished last session?
I believe I was reaching out to Adriana and damn, I just blanked out on.
Adrian?
Oh no, yeah, Adrian
Vaya.
and Vaya. That's it. To tell them about the last seal that my dear father had told me about, and Adrian had blew me off because she wanted to do her own thing, and I think Vaya had been interested, but more so interested in screwing the gods over and not.
Yeah, we definitely left off on a very high point of contention last game. It seemed like the group had kind of split into their separate little splinter cells right there, because we have
Liam being Mr. Broody.
it's not broody. It's not a phase. It's pure evil.
That doesn't make me.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me what Liam was getting into?
All right. Well, Liam is not trying to impress anybody upon anything. He is just. It is a statement of fact that he's going to start running things in the club, the Lotus, because he thinks he's realized recently that controlling the secret gateway between Eden proper and the Undercity is extremely advantageous, and his boss Patrick is an idiot who doesn't know how to take advantage of it. So he's trying to undermine his boss, and get rid of him if he has to.
All right. And Ashley, what was Vaya up to?
Vaya was pretty pissed at her mother when we left her off, and wasn't really sure what she was going to do next, but anything to make sure that, the gods' lives were a little harder was completely within the realm of possibility. And then she was also looking for some more answers about herself.
All right. All all great things to do. Unfortunately, Adrian is not with us tonight, aka Jacob. But just real quick, his character was still looking for their aunt. So that's where we left off with Adrian at that point. But as the new day starts, it's actually probably been a few days since you guys left off from their last session. Astrid, do you remember anything about the seal you were looking for?
You know I don't. Because I didn't write it down.
You're killing me right now.
Isn't this your game? You're
It is my
to know all
game.
these
You're
things?
supposed to know. So it's spilling faded blood on holy ground.
Ah, that's right. Spilling faded blood on holy ground. Okay, yes.
Mm.
I had reached out to Vaya, and she had seemed semi-interested, more interested in screwing gods over than, stopping the gods from, doing whatever their nefarious thing is. So I don't.
So over the last few days, have you guys got together, done anything special, anything certain to try and look into anything, or patrol anywhere, do anything like that, trying to just suss out what's going on?
I imagine Astrid probably would be doing general research, trying to figure out what exactly faded blood is and whose it could be.
All right. You can go ahead and give me a roll of some sort because I don't have the character sheet up. Hold on.
Let's see.
Oh, that's not
How about cunning and culture?
good. That works.
One success.
All right. So with one success, you know that faded blood it could be anybody. There's so many prophecies out there in the world that if anybody fits a certain criteria and they happen to fit a line with this prophecy at a certain time or something like that, it could be misconstrued to mean that. It's a very very vague kind of wording, which all prophecies really are. And when it comes to holy ground, that's a very specific part. The temples are considered holy territory, but the ground on them aren't technically holy themselves. Holy ground is referring specifically to consecrated ground from a god, somewhere that gods initially touch down on when they come into the world.
Come into existence, or come to
When they
material world?
Come into the material world. No, not where gods are born.
Okay.
Nah.
Just want to be sure.
Well, that's a different game.
All right. That's not very much to go on.
So Vaya has those pictures of the runes and things like that. She would probably sit down and start to go through them again and see if she can recall anything from it that she did not get the first time around from the cave.
All right. Yeah, so when you go into the runes, you what mostly you can pick out of it is that it's not just in one language.
Hmm.
It's in several languages altogether. Uh and you kind of have to take a little bit from here, a little bit from there just to be able to make it out. So um these aren't seals that just pertain to one religion. These are overall.
Okay.
Um, I do remember that we did say that your all your bank accounts and everything were pretty much frozen now, right?
Yep.
How is she getting by for the next few days? What is Vaya doing?
Well, she had quite a bit of money on her. So for now, she's just kind of surviving off of what she had on her.
Okay, using liquid
She,
assets.
yeah, she had gotten enough that she's be good for probably about a month, let's say,
Hmm.
as long as she doesn't go crazy and stay in penthouses.
All right, I like it. Sensible. Um, and anything else that you're doing in a few days besides just trying to mull over the runes?
I'd be looking into more of my past, possibly looking over the site where I ran into hell and just watching there a little to see if there's anything I notice, any patterns, but nothing real major. She's kind of playing it low. And if Astrid told me that Liam and her were on the outs, I would probably reach out to Liam as well.
All right. Well, with that being said, Liam, a few days have gone by since you and your sister have had your standoff in the lobby of the Four Seasons.
Don't forget, I sent you a nice text the next day.
Probably a few paragraphs long.
It wasn't that long. It was short and to the point.
Anyway, what's Liam been up to as he has stepped into his full role of owning the Lotus Club?
Well, the first question is, what did I have to do to get rid of Patrick, the original owner?
He just kind of fell to the wayside. You know where he's at. He's in that office upstairs. But even as you enter it, it's looks like a regular office. He's somewhere deeper within it. You can call it forward if you focus, with your new birth rate that you've been given. But he's pretty much just going with what you say at this point.
That's good. I
He's
like
kind of
that.
riding shotgun.
Yeah. Now, I want to know about this last seal. People really badly want to break it. What's in it for those who are involved? Those who participate? It sounds like quite a risk. So I want to look for leads. Anybody interested? These cultists that keep showing up on the news involved. The Anubians, I think.
Mm.
Perhaps.
Are you asking your boss, or are you just looking into it?
I'm gonna look for rumors, but I'm not gonna ask
Patrick?
my boss. I'm gonna ask the security guards.
Okay. They tell you that the big three, which you know to be as Heba, X, and Nick, are all out fighting the Anubians anywhere they pop up. You also know that the shit, I can't remember their name. The Egyptian pantheon, the temple has pretty much what's the word? Has put to rest any rumors that the Nubians are working with them. They say that there's been no sanctioned worship from Anubis himself. Any Anubian temple guard has completely condemned the acts that they're doing, and going forward, these are all now considered acts of terrorism.
Right. All right. Well, I want to tell my guards to keep an eye out for any of these people. I have a feeling they're going to try to move through the Undercity. Because who knows if they even have any idea what this last seal is. I don't even think Liam knows what the last seal is, but playing the waiting game. Also, I'm going to keep an eye out on the news. Anything about Heba, X, or Nick. I want to track them down. Actually, I'm going to text Vaya.
What a coincidence, because as you're going to text Vaya, you get a text message from Vaya. It's like it was orchestrated by the heavens.
What does this heavenly divine message say?
Probably be along the lines of, we should meet up. There's a lot going down. Name a place and time.
I'm just going to reply, Lotus, anytime.
Okay.
Period. That's how Liam texts when he's this way. Are you trying to arrive at night?
Probably be there at night, yeah.
All right. As you come up to the club, it's packed. It's oddly packed. Like, people have flocked to this club, and I mean, you've seen it before, and it's been pretty busy, but this has a line around the block. People have been waiting, and you kind of hear that it's the place to be. Like, the new manager has breathed new life into this place. The choke
Gross.
point between Undercity and Eden proper. As you come up,
Props to
you
him.
kind of hear the thump of the bass in the background as you approach.
Liam's
So
up on a railing, actually. He's on the second floor. It's sort of two sets of stairs. This place is it's mirrored, so it's symmetrical to both sides. And you wouldn't know really which is which without all the guards guarding the Undercity side and preventing drunk people from stumbling into literally the wrong side of town. But also mirrored is this landing up top where the higher ticket drinks are being sold. There's a bar up there, and Liam is sort of just watching. He's like hanging on the railings, looking out into the pit.
So Liam would get another text message. Just arrived. Can you tell the bouncers to let me in?
I'll give him a look from up top. They should let you up, no problem.
Yeah, the bouncers just kind of step aside, and the doors are open for you.
So I walk in, look around. Am I able to see Liam pretty quickly?
Yeah, he kind of sticks out.
So I start making my way to where Liam is at.
Harry, now.
Seen better days. I guess. So, what have you heard about the seals recently?
Fuck all. I wish I knew more. One or two left. I want to know why they want to break them.
Well, the jackal guy said something about darkness coming, didn't he?
Yeah, well, that's vague. Darkness.
It's vague, but it's something to start at. And
Mm.
your former boss, I'm assuming, looking around?
Oh yeah, he's around.
He seemed to have some information on it. If we could round him up.
Let's give him a chat.
Okay. Where's he at?
So, lead you up here. There's a much fancier bar, but just around the corner behind it, there is a very nondescript door. Yeah, you would actually miss it if it not for me turning a handle that's out of sight, especially in the dark, sharp lighting. But before you now is a hallway with a couple of doors. After you.
Of course. And she'll start walking in there.
Shutting the door behind me. Immediately the sound is cut, but you can hear that thump of the bass just down at the end of the hall. There's a door with a little glass cutout window that leads to an office.
Is he
Okay.
hiding out in here?
Yeah, he's there.
I'll walk over and like peer through the window and see what I see.
You see a gentleman that's just kind of lounging backwards. He's tapping his fingers against the desk with his feet up as he's peering at a screen. You kind of get a good look at the screen, and it's just black to you. And he's just staring very intently at this black screen.
Okay. Is it... Yeah. Is the door locked, I'm assuming?
It's unlocked.
It's unlocked. Is it okay if we go in?
I'll just open it.
Okay.
Swings out.
Swings out. Okay. Hello. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Vaya.
Hey, Patrick.
Liam. What can I
Interesting.
do for you?
I'm gonna
What are
sit
you
in the
watching?
armchair.
The Void. Would you like
Okay.
to take a look?
All I see is darkness.
Such as a void.
We gave you part of the prophecy before, and you gave us some warnings. If I was to give you all of the prophecy I had, could you interpret it a little more?
He puts his feet down and kind of spins in his chair to look at you. And what's in it for me? Interpreting such signs.
What are you looking for?
What are you looking for, Vaya? Why do you want to know about the signs, the seals?
I have my reasons.
As do I. But what do you gain by knowing more information about them?
It allows me to decide if I want to help the person break it or protect it.
There we go. That's what I need to know.
I'm gonna shoot Vaya a glance and a smile, and then I'm gonna sit in the leather armchair across from his desk. There are two if you want to sit, but I don't even offer. I'm entertained.
So he'll wave his hand and the door will shut, and the leather armchair next to Liam will kind of slide out towards Vaya. Have a seat. I feel. I
She
feel like
sits on
this
the
is.
corner of the desk. You say you know me. You should know I don't like doing as told.
Right. Sit wherever you please. If you want, sit on the fucking ceiling. Let's get this information.
So I will give him the rest of what I have and anything that I would have discovered from the runes themselves since I was studying them.
And just kind of mull it over and nod. He'll look over to Liam. So, Liam, what does this information tell you?
I'm a fly on the wall. I am hesitant to tell you what I want to do here.
You don't have to tell me anything I already know. See, in our exchange, Liam, I'm in your head. I just need to grease the gears of your mind to get it start working to see bigger pictures. Because if anything happens to me, well, who's going to be the brains of this operation? So, boys and girls, when there is something that is sealed, what comes when you break said seals?
Seems pretty basic, whatever was locked away.
Is then able to be
Escape.
free. Right. Now, usually seals are made in ones, maybe twos, three. Three seals is quite excessive to seal anything away. 7.
Hmm.
Well, 7's have only ever been used once, as far as I know.
And what was sealed away was 7.
Every pantheon has their creation stories. Every pantheon knows of something great and terrible. 7 seals were put in place to hold at bay darkness incarnate. Because before Earth was created, before the heavens, before the gods, there was nothing but darkness. And darkness, in its infinite loneliness, created the light, created the titans, gave birth to gods. And for its creation and splendor and wisdom, it was sealed because it was uncontrollable. When the 7th seal breaks, The bringer of creation will be free to walk and heed no titan, heed no god. At least that's what I get from it. It could be
Heed.
a big dog. Who knows?
No titan. Heed no god. 7 seals is for a dog.
Yeah,
It could
not a
be
dog I'd want to meet.
a very big dog. Have you ever stared into the face of the creation and the creator just kind of barks back? That was a joke. I see the blank looks. It's okay.
Funny.
It's okay.
I don't like your sense of humor.
Not many people do.
Do you have any idea where the seventh seal actually might be?
Well, there were 7. I'm not sure which one's left.
There was something. Liam, correct me if
Spilling
I'm wrong.
Faded
Wasn't
blood
yeah.
on holy ground.
Well, now we come to the hard part. You see, to spill faded blood, there's only a few things that are actually faded. And that's the gods themselves. So you bring down a god and you make them bleed on holy ground. And then that 7th seal will break. But you two look like capable younglings. And I'm interested to see how this happens. Leo, may I suggest the Temple of Ogma?
I want to look at Vaya. Yeah. We'll just.
Depends. Do we want to spill the blood or not? Because if we want to, that or Freya's temple would do just fine. But otherwise, maybe not such a good idea.
You have something against Freya?
Just slightly.
Mm.
You know, she did kind of clone me.
Right. About that. That's a shame, really.
Yeah, I tend to hold a grudge.
Because at the end of the day, are you the clone or the original?
Don't know if it really matters.
If we break the 7th seal, it won't.
It won't.
Question is,
You're right.
Patrick, you want the seal broken? Yeah?
Of course. Who wouldn't want the 7th seal broken?
I can list 3 people.
Who are?
Oh, you see them on the news.
Oh, the big 3. I'm not worried about such insects. You call my name when they inevitably show up, and I'll deal with them.
All right. I'm gonna get up. Be seeing you, boss. I'm gonna get the door for Vaya.
I walk out.
As you both walk out, the door just kind of shuts on its own. And as you walk by the window, He's not at the desk anymore. The room's completely empty.
Any idea where he went to?
Couldn't say.
All
So what are we
right.
doing?
Come with me. Across from this hallway, in the same hallway, there's a
Mm-hmm.
small room. Opening it, it's clear that it was probably like a closet of some sort, or maybe a server room when this was an entirely different structure. Now it's a small gym.
All
Everything
right.
seems out of place here, but Liam shuts the door behind him after you come in. There aren't any windows, so a gross blue light sort of illuminates this entire space, and it has a very creepy vibe to it. You can tell this is where Liam's been working out. But he says, do you want to break this thing?
I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. Kind of on the fence.
Yeah. I really want to break this thing.
Then let's go break it.
Need a plan, though.
Your sister might be a problem.
Oh, she might be the bait.
Speaking of which, while you guys formulate your plan, we're gonna hop on over to Astrid. Astrid, what is you doing?
Oh, well, continuing my trying to figure out what I can possibly do about this whole seal business, and since my list of allies has become non-existent,
Greatly diminished.
no, it's diminished would be putting it lightly. I'm going to call the what's the word? Informant plant that I have in Lotus.
All right.
The what?
I just had someone in there watching you.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't just fucking hear that.
The pickup. Feminine voice answers. Hello?
Anything happening other than brooding?
No, he's being creepy as always. Just standing up there and staring. Some really pale lady walked in earlier and they walked back to his office, but that's pretty much it.
Did she seem kind of different?
Like a call girl maybe? I don't know. I don't know what kind of appetites this guy has. I felt more like he was a solitary type, but you know, who judges the company one keeps anymore these days?
Not very good at your job. I shouldn't be paying you as much as I am.
You're not paying me at all. This is a favor.
Luckily, I didn't do anything very good for you. Anyway, thank you. Hang up. I'm going to head to a Temple of Agma.
All right. As you
hotel on you.
As you get to the temple, the attendants open the door for you right away. You are not impeded at all.
Go to the center of the temple. I look around, half expecting Ogma to just be there. This seems to be his thing. But not seeing him, sit down from the statue and stare up at his irritating face. Could really use a hand right now.
How about a round of applause? It only took you 2 months to figure out the seals.
Well, my list of companions and people who are in on this have disappeared into nothing. I know next to nothing about gods and your prophecies. All my informants are very good at finding me murderers and drug dealers, not so much evil. So, perhaps you could not be a snarky asshole and maybe give me some actual information.
What would you like to know?
Who's trying to break the seals and what will happen if they are?
Well, if I knew who was trying to break the seals, I wouldn't need you to look into that for me. But what happens if they are broken is bad. It's been around before me. No one really knows what comes when the seventh seal is broken. But the seals were put there for a reason. And we have lived this long without whatever is over there. So why would we want it back?
Is there... Well, you're being as much help on that as Google has been. Regarding my brother, do you have any idea what has happened to him? Because I have a feeling he's going to be on the opposite side of this for me.
He is a giant void to me at this point. I can no longer see him, feel him, hear him. He is nothingness.
Are you being literal or figurative?
I feel like you greatly overestimate my abilities. When I give you a birthright, I give you a part of myself. It allows me to stay in contact with you. It allows me to interact with you. It allows me to know when you are in need. Liam has given that up. He is a void to me now. I am no more part of him than he is part of me. I'll try to be forthright with you, Astrid. Your brother has walked down probably the most dangerous path. There is no saving him. You should be prepared for a fight if you were ever to see him again. And I would not go looking for him, because the powers that I can grant you may still pale in comparison to the powers that he has bargained for.
Well, if I'm out to stop the seal from being broken and he's I'm assuming, out to break it. Pretty sure we're going to cross paths inevitably. We crossed paths before we knew each other existed.
He's like a petulant child, yelling at the wall because someone took his favorite toy. He's mad. And now he's going to go break something of someone else's to make sure no one else has it. So this is what you're going to do. He gestures his hand broadly, and beside him, as like a gust of wind kind of hits your face and like you just blink on reaction, your eyes open back up. You see two fully armored feminine creatures. They have no faces. It's just armored plate. The armor on each of them varies slightly from side to side, but they do have 4 and 6 wings respectively. The one on the right has 4, the one on the left has 6. They both carry long, slender spears with leaf blades at the end, and a sword at each hip. I made a bargain for these. Vaya's mother is very angry at her. These are her retribution. Freya also is queen of the Valkyries, and they will be with you.
With me
Always.
visibly.
If you want.
Well, next time you see Freya, tell her I said thank you. I'll be sure to stop by her temple sometime.
Sure, we'll all see each other before the week's out. Anything else, daughter?
No, thank you for being helpful for once.
Children are so ungrateful. Do not die. That'll be quite disappointing.
Your love is so touching.
He'll just kind of like look toward between the Valkyries, like, can only imagine. Who else brings mythical bodyguards for their child?
Well, technically Freya did, but
Technically, Freya did. It's like, Begone, you have things to do, I have things to do. The longer I'm here, the longer I'm not somewhere else.
well, either I'll see you when I'm dead or after this is over.
Oh, if you die, I won't see you. You go to a different place. So don't die.
Alright.
And he vanishes.
Turn around and look at the Valkyries.
They just kind of stare down at you. And even though they don't have faces to see, you know they have really judgy eyes behind those masks. And they're judging the shit out of you right now.
So
They're quiet though. They don't say anything.
you guys got names? No.
If we were to tell you our name, then your ears would bleed, your eyes would rupture, and your skin would set aflame. Our names are not meant to be spoken on this realm. Just know that we're here. And if you need, we will act.
All right, well, I have a plan. I have an idea. Follow me, whichever way you see fit.
They kind of fade into the background.
I'm going to head back to my apartment for the time being
All right.
to scheme for a little bit.
All right. Coming back to Liam and Vaya.
I'd say
What
we've
are
made it.
you two doing?
I don't know what Vaya's doing, but I would have made it back to my apartment by now. We're still planning, though.
I'd probably go with you until we were done with the planning.
This place has recently been deep cleaned. It's almost like
All right.
I had something. I spilled something, and it just
A
got
whole
everywhere.
lot
So
of something.
yeah, carpets are brand new. I reckon the floors have been redone too.
I'm sorry for whoever lives underneath you.
Liam, you understand I used to murder people for a living, right?
Is that obvious? I want to look at the new
I know what a
furnishings.
cleaner does.
Well, you could have saved me a lot of money. All right, so in the morning, we'll find them.
Okay.
Drop a little hint. They'll come to the Undercity. It's when the big con happens.
Sounds great. I can't wait.
Are you sure you're good at this?
I'm good enough.
The three of them. You trust all of them.
I don't trust anyone.
Yeah, but do you think we could be outmatched?
I'm sure we could if we make mistakes.
Should we take care of one of them first?
Which one?
It's your call. I'm not good at this.
Axe is a little slow.
We need slow.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the girl. She seems a little too perceptive for my good taste.
We might not be able to kill her. We could trap her.
Where do you want to do it at? And how do you want to do it?
These are your skills, not mine.
Can I roll occult cunning to figure out a way to trap a demigod?
You may certainly try.
Okay. So I got one success with that. Wow, actually rolled pretty bad.
All right. So with one success, you kind of you know that demigods are really hard to keep contained if they don't want to be contained. The best way to do it is to cut their legs off. That'll for sure stop anybody from running away. But that isn't even really sure that to stop a demigod because they could sometimes just teleport. So the only things you can really think of to keep a demigod in place with your profession is violent, very, very violent, and poison. But the poison has to be ingested because demigods have a very tough exterior.
She seems to like her coffee. Okay, can I roll a technology I don't even know. Technology intellect, maybe, or technology cunning to try to go through the city to basically hack the city's surveillance and find out where they are.
I'll allow it. It's going to be a difficult role.
Okay. Intellect or cunning?
Give me intellect.
Intellect. Okay, let's see if I can come up with anything. 2 successes, so probably not.
Yeah, with that, the city has a wide array of networks that kind of all coincide together. With your 2 successes, you can pretty much track one set of cameras, which you do end up catching a glimpse of Astrid as she walks by a street at one point, but she quickly turns down another path and another one and another one. She's impossible to track with the limited access that you've gotten into.
Okay. So the best bet may just be to show up where these jackals attack, since we know that is, and see if I can persuade Hepa to come with me and see what we can do.
Was that to Liam?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Sounds good. That's what we'll do then.
We'll time it. When she goes missing, we'll say that's when I got attacked. Go to the other 2. Tell him it's all Ogma. That he's trying to break it. They'll rush, they'll look for her. That's our time.
Sounds like a plan. So we will watch, I guess, then for any jackal attacks that the big 3 show up to.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make some rolls on my end.
So for full transparency, to sum it up, we are trying to incapacitate a demigod, frame Ogma to get 2 other demigods to rush in and try to take care of Ogma. And in the calamity, Vaya and I have a plan. Uh-oh.
I'm so excited to see where this goes.
Let's hope you guys are as good at sneaking as you think you are.
If I continue to roll like I am, it might be a problem. But yeah.
All right. So it's about a day or 2 before the next jackal attacks are sighted. I take it you guys just kind of slept on shifts, just to always be ready in case they're when they show up. When
Yeah.
you get onto the scene, you are literally there before the big 3. When they show up, they kind of look tired. They're worn. They've been doing this a long time, and both of you know that you've seen them fight incredible odds for a lot more strenuous times, and they've never looked this tired before. But they still come at it with their heads held high. As Nick and X get on scene, they rush in, and Heba supports them from the rear as usual. Nick is busy zooming around the battlefield, going from one end to the other, pretty much attacking like guerrilla warfare. And as X deals with tank style combat, what are you two doing?
So
I can't be
initially,
seen because
yeah,
I am the plan. Um,
yeah,
I
you
need
can't
to
be seen.
disappear at the same time. Look, I'm going to go hide. If you could take any of them, take Heba,
Got it.
but any'll do.
Okay. So I will know where he is going to hide because that is part of it. And I will run up to Heba.
So just kind of side eye you. It's about time we get some help around here.
Yeah, there's another big group of them coming in from the side. You think you can come help me and Liam?
Just look around like, yeah.
Your boys are a lot stronger than we are.
It's like, fine. And she'll just kind of whisper into like the ether, and you'll see, if you look over to X and Nick as they're fighting, you'll see them both kind of nod in a nod of assent as she darts off with you to the side.
Okay. So I will lead her to where Liam is. And wait.
All right. So Liam, what you doing?
Well, are we outdoors? What's this? Where's this place? What's the attack like here?
I mean, you are outdoors. You're on a street block. It looked like it was more in a residential area. Um, so as you turn the corner, you're kind of surrounded by what looks to be homes, but they look kind of rough because of the attack from the jackals.
All right. Well, I'm hoping Vaya's leading from behind her as she's headed away. I'm going to be around a corner as they take the sidewalk. I'm thinking where an indoor garage meets the sidewalk, so it's as close to the sidewalk as possible in like a tight back alley of a residential.
Okay.
Because I'm going to open with a punch to the throat, and hopefully that's Vaya's opportunity to make an attack from behind in some critical way.
All right. All right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're gonna let this fold out. No telling the plan before it unfolds. Okay. So
I'm terrified.
you get an attack of
Yeah, I know.
opportunity or a surprise attack. So go ahead and make me a strength plus close combat roll. You get a +3 enhancement.
All right. 5 successes, which puts me
Is
at
that with
8
your
successes.
enhancement?
No. I got 9, 8, 9, 8, 8.
All right.
Two.
Now make me another one.
Uh-oh. Because I just used all of my good fortune. Don't. 2.
All right. Is that with your enhancement?
No.
All right. So you have 5 for the second one and 8 for the first one.
Yes.
So Vaya, you would see as Heba kind of turns around the corner, Liam's fist comes out and cracks her right in the throat. But as his fist connects with the throat, a more shadowed hand kind of follows it up, and as her like head drops back, like her tactical training takes over. So instead of falling forward like somebody usually would with a throat punch, she kind of rolls back, but it grabs her around the back of the head and slams her head into the side of the wall. What are you doing?
I will continue to push my attack or attack. I will try to call my chain out, and I will try to wrap it around her neck.
Give me an athletics plus dex roll.
Okay.
Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
6 successes.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh, this is some season finale. So, as her head kind of rebounds off the wall, your chain whips out from your hand and just wraps around her neck, and it kind of starts sliding around the rest of her body. With that many successes, you have her completely grappled, and she does not get a turn, but she does get to struggle. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, child. She does get a you notice her legs brace before the chain gets to it, and her body whips around, throwing you into Liam. I need you both to make me a dex roll, just pure dex, to see if you stay up.
3 successes.
Pure dex. This is
Yeah.
gonna be bad. 1 success
All right.
of 2 rolled.
As you collide, Liam, you kind of catch Vaya, and the impact doesn't even jar you. It just, you kind of like, she hits your upper body, you grab her, and then you just kind of throw her to the side. You throw her like feet down. You don't throw her on her head,
Right.
but you just kind of throw her to the side, like you have other shit to do.
Ew.
Vaya is actually going to try something magical. So, time to see if you can fight a demigod. All right, so bright blue tattoos start glowing up her body. But Vaya, your chain seems to radiate that cold air around it. It seems like it's suppressing whatever she's trying to do. Liam, you're up.
I need the poison. I'm gonna try to get it from Vaya.
I will toss it to him.
With a catch. To
All
uncork.
right.
Has she gotten up?
Who?
The
Heba.
target.
Heba never fell. She never fell to the ground.
She's just chained.
The chain wrapped around her neck and her upper body, and she braced with her legs and kind of used her body momentum to whip Vaya into you.
All right, well, I'm just going to grab her throat and try to literally put this vial down it, through it. Full glass in. What would you like?
While he's doing this, can I try to pull the chain up to like leverage her neck up to help him?
I'm trying to think of what role he would make.
So, grabbing by the throat.
Close
is-
combat.
Yeah, it would definitely be close. It could be a close combat plus strength to see how you can hold her head up. And then give me a dex roll or a close combat plus dex to see. But you get an enhancement on the dex one because Vaya is going to be helping assist.
2 successes to grab the neck.
All right.
3 successes plus the bonus you mentioned to put the vial
Pour
in.
it in the mouth.
Yep.
All right. So, she starts choking. You guys go ahead, take it away. Let me know how this poison works. Like, what is she falling asleep? Is she vomiting profusely? Is she like, what's going on?
Vaya, you procured the poison. Yeah, why don't you?
It's going to put her to sleep, render her completely unconscious, where she is pretty much helpless to whatever we decide will happen next at this point. She will slowly collapse to the ground as we lay her against the wall to decide what our next steps are.
All right.
Right.
So that happened. You guys now have an unconscious demigod at your feet. Her two best friends in the world are fighting not 500 yards away. And if you both want to go ahead and give me a
How much time do we have?
give me
Probably
a
not a lot.
composure roll to see how thoughtful you are about your surroundings.
0 successes.
And the same.
We both did as bad as possible because with the 0 successes, we also rolled 1s. So, as bad as could be.
Yes.
Are we in front of a daycare or something?
Yeah.
What are you doing with her? You better get your hands off of her. As you look up, there's an old woman
Oh, that's
in the window. Those boys are gonna come get her.
that's kind of the point. I draw my gun and I fire.
Give me a Dex plus firearms roll.
Okay.
Whew.
Time for some
One
murder to go.
success.
What? So you clip her in the cheek. She lets out a scream. Liam, what are you doing? Shit just went tits up,
I'm
man.
picking the body up and I'm going to head inside of that house that we are along the side of.
You're gonna the one the old lady's yelling out at you.
Yeah, we're taking the body in the house.
Hopefully she's retracted from the
That's
window
what I'm
since I
doing.
just shot her.
All right.
I have a plan.
You bust in the house. The door was unlocked, by the way. It's just a screen door. It was a nice fall day until you shot an old
Perfect.
lady in the face.
All right, I'm gonna drop our little demi-goddess in the dining room. I'm gonna kick over a chair to make it look like there was a bit of a struggle. All right, shoot me next.
Okay. I will.
I'll show you where. And now Liam can't decide where to be shot. It's because it all sounds really fucking painful, and he doesn't remember which one will kill you.
I'll shoot him, like, trying to think. I'll, like, aim to shoot him, like, graze his arm.
You hear rumbling, by the way. But you're
Okay.
shooting him to graze his arm. Go ahead. Give me a Dex plus firearms, please.
4 successes.
All right. Liam, you give me a close combat plus strength roll. 2 of them, if you will.
Strength roll and close combat. Okay, all right, first one.
By the way, as soon as I get done shooting him, if I can, I'm going up and killing the woman upstairs. We don't need her telling them that we did this.
Oh, whoops.
Just ruining someone's Christmas.
I know, right?
I did good on this. Wow.
What you get?
5 and 4.
All right. So as Vaya pulls the trigger, that shadowed form kind of hardens around your arms, and it lashes out towards her and punches her right in the thigh, knocking her down. And then the second follow-up phantom blow just kind of uppercuts her right into the chest.
Crap.
You were unscathed, but Vaya looks like she just got hit by a truck.
All right. No, this is good.
Surprisingly, you don't take any damage.
Are you stable?
Could have warned me.
I'm sorry. All right. I'll leave. They'll come. It's a matter of time. They heard the shots. Tell them I did it. Tell them my dad told me to. They'll know where to find me.
Okay.
All right?
Can you kill the woman upstairs real quick?
Can I hear a woman upstairs?
She's freaking out. She just got shot in
Yeah.
the face and her house got broken into.
Walk up the steps slowly.
So Vaya, as you watch Liam walk up the steps, the shadows kind of stretch towards him. As he walks into the darkness of the hallway, the light gets dimmer, and as he proceeds upwards, it's as if when he gets directly under the light, it vanishes altogether. The darkness seems so oppressive that it's muffling the sound itself.
Okay.
Liam, what are you doing when you get upstairs? This old lady is hiding in the room.
It's pretty obvious the room that she's in, right?
Oh, yeah. It's
All right. So I'll walk in. I'll look around. Is there like a baby monitor, or a camera, a laptop webcam, or anything?
This lady is like 76 years old.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna make sure there's nothing here. Then I'm just gonna walk over. Where is she hiding?
In between the bed and the wall. Like the bed's kind of in the middle of the room, and so she's on the other side as the bed is like a barrier between her and the door.
I'm just gonna walk over. I'm gonna pick up a bookend stand on that dresser, because she seems like the reading type. And then I'm gonna grab a pillow from the bed. I'm gonna walk up to her.
By the way, X and Nick are getting closer as you see them through the window. I just rolled 3 1s on a sneak roll to get inside this house, so you see them blatantly coming. Make your mind up on what you're doing.
Agma wanted you dead, but I don't have time. You didn't see me. I say that with the full intention of her just telling them that she saw me. I'm going to try to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to try to get out of here because I desperately need to get out of here for any of this to work. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go to the other side of this top floor as sneaky as I can and try to get out through the roof to time it when they come in. Tell me what I got to do. I'm terrified. Do I have momentum from doing a terrible job on my composure roll?
Yeah, you have 4 momentum.
Guess who's
Yes.
Yes.
guess who's
ahead.
spending all 4?
Well, you're also carrying Heba, right?
No, Heba's with me.
Nope. Heva's planted.
Okay.
Heba's part of the
Heba's the
plan
evidence.
too, and I've pulled my chain off of her.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a Dex plus Athletics to get onto the roof of this building.
For momentum. Spending it. Thank
Yes.
God I did! Because I got 0 successes, so that's 4 successes.
All right.
I'm stressed out right now. All right.
You get to the roof of the building. You notice that X and Nick see you. Nick starts walking up the side of the building. What's your next step?
I'm about cornered at this point. Right?
Yes.
All right, Belial.
It-
Now's about the time.
Below you, a face kind of emerges from the shadows, like coming out from the shadows in between your legs.
Oh.
It's like, too soon, too soon. Just jump. Daddy will take care of you.
And he's walking up the side of the building?
Yeah, Nick's walking up the side of the building.
Right. Fuck it. I'm gonna jump.
All right. So as you jump off the building, you're coming down, and you feel like you've been set up because you're coming down to the ground with force. This was a 3-story building. But as you come down, your own shadow grows larger and larger than it should. And as it spreads out, and where you should hit the ground, you penetrate through the ground, and you are absorbed into the shadow. But where you come out, you're not really sure of, because right now you're floating in the void. We're going to go ahead and switch over to Astrid, because you have been patiently waiting for like 45 minutes.
Well,
It's been very entertaining.
What have you been up to? Prepping, setting up, sparring with some Valkyries.
Bonding with my new guardian angels.
They do seem very talkative, even though sometimes it comes off very condescending. They let you know that they're not used to fraternizing with mortals or somebody so close to mortality. This is the first time they've talked to a mortal in upwards of 3,000 years.
Aside from dead ones?
No, they don't talk to dead ones.
Well, I thought Valkyries did the whole.
Yeah, no, Valhalla is a myth.
Huh.
Everybody
That's
goes to the
disappointing.
underworld.
That's disappointing. What's their opinion on Vaya?
She's an abomination. She's a blight on the divinity that is the seer. And she should be exterminated and removed from the face of the earth. All record of her should be purged, and there should be nothing left behind.
Do they have any way of locating her?
They could search, but if they search, you would be alone.
Can I send one of them to find her?
They could do one of them.
Okay.
Their search would be slower that way, but it would allow one of them to stay with you. But as you send one out, kind of flying around, it takes a few hours before you hear anything else back. Is there anything you're doing in the few hours' time?
Trying to come up with a plan.
All right.
Yeah, just
That's probably for the best.
What- yeah,
the Valkyrie will sit there and offer suggestions if you ask.
yeah. You've been around a long time. What would you suggest I do against? I'm assuming a Scion and whatever my brothers become. I'm assuming they've teamed up.
I suggest killing them.
That's a given.
Don't
I was
hesitate when you bring the blade down on their neck.
more of a gun kind of
Familial
person, but, yeah.
bonds tend to cloud one's judgment. I've seen it happen a million times. But the trapper, if you know that they're going to plan to spill fated blood, and you know that the only way that fated blood is godly blood to be spilled, and the best way to do that is when a god is just summoned, then 1 + 1 is 2. That's still true on this plane, right?
Yes.
Right. So 1 + 1 being 2, you know that they're going to go to either Freya's temple or they're going to go to your dad's temple. Now, it's just which one do you want to be near? They're quite far from each other, so we can't be at both at the same time. And there's too many ways to approach them, so we couldn't even get there. But you plan a trap and wait for them, and then when they spring it, you have the upper hand. Surprise is your only ally at this time, along with me and my sister.
I think I have a plan. It's only going to work if we're right, but I think you can do it. How well do you know Agma? Because I've met him 4 times.
I've seen him around throughout the years. Arrogant. I mean, but all gods are arrogant, really.
I'm gonna concentrate for a second. Concentrate on Agma's appearance, his voice, his manner of speaking, and try to become that.
Well, that was impressive. I do applaud you. Your gift even imitates the aura. You do realize that you'll most likely die if you do that.
Well, that's what I have you guys for.
So be it. I guess we're going to your father's temple then.
In the vicinity, yes. Just curious, the turning invisible thing, would I be able to do that at will, or is that still just like a...
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were still talking.
No.
Valkyrie's like, I don't fucking know. So I'm gonna say that you've practiced quite often throughout the week since you've got your birthright. Like while in the sessions that you weren't able to make it. I'm thinking like a few weeks past. So yeah, no, you can
Okay.
do it pretty well at will now.
All right. Then yeah, I'm going to find my largest caliber weapon, handgun, and head to Agma's temple and find a place to get comfortable invisibly and wait.
All right. The Valkyries disappear even from your sight this time. as you kind of gotten near Ogma's temple, the air around them kind of changed as you realized they were getting battle ready, pretty much getting a control on their adrenaline and things like that.
So
Because
is the other one back as well, or is it still just the one at the moment?
the other one's back. They do report back to you that it was said that Liam was lost in shadow, and he assaulted both Vaya and Heba. And apparently he's going around telling everybody that Ogma is the reason that he is assaulting people. From
Well,
what she sees, Nick and X are none too pleased about this information. And you remember that Nick already had a chip on his shoulder when it came to gods in the first place.
What was Nick and X? What were Nick and X doing when you left?
Heading to your father's temple.
Can you send a message? Can you deliver a message for me?
Like, at first they're kind of looking up at the sky, and then they look down at you, and you feel radiating hatred coming from this one you just asked to deliver a message. You are connected to your father. Do not ask me to deliver a message. That's not what I'm here for. Pray, and if he's merciful, he'll hear you. If not, my spear will. You would feel it just giving you the squint eye behind the mask.
Then I am going to do just that and head into the temple and sit right like at the foot of the statue and ask very nicely for a message to be sent to either Nick or X, just to let them know that Liam is spreading a bunch of bullshit.
Your father's voice kind of echoes back in your head.
Oh.
No, I'm not connected to them, and their parental gods are far from me.
Pretty sure I only have Heaven's number too. I'm gonna look back to the Valkyries like this is all in pursuit of getting Vaya and taking her down for Freya. If we get X and Nick on our side, the chances of our success go up considerably.
They just stand there implacably. We're here to guard you.
Well, they're gonna come here and more than likely try to kill me. So wouldn't going to tell them that Ogma's not behind this be preemptively guarding me?
Astrid, I'm going to tell you this one more time because you're new. We are warriors. We are not messengers. We will greet a fight with a smile and blades drawn, but we will not deliver messages for you, and that is final.
Are there any attendants around?
There are. Are you going to go send an attendant of Ogma to X and Nick
No, I'm just gonna have them
and
stand
battle
outside.
damage Heba, who is knocked out?
No, I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask the attendants to close the doors to the temple, and if they see Nick and X before they see uh, Liam or Vaya, to just try and persuade them of what's actually happening without causing bodily harm to themselves.
All right.
Now I'm gonna go hide in all invisible and stuff.
So you go invisible. You are set up as far as you can at this point. Valkyries have vanished again from even from your sight. Vaya, are you coming with X and Nick?
Yes, I would be coming with them. And yeah.
All right. So as you're pressing on, they're just both kind of quiet and broody. Nick looks especially in a terrible mood. His earlier exhaustion is now replaced with borderline seething rage. And he's not having a good time. X looks, he looks mad, but he looks like he's better at controlling his anger than Nick is.
I would hope so. You know, you only threw a toilet at me. But
He's been
so
working on it.
I would warn them that Astrid may try to protect her father as well.
Nick was, as he's walking, he's like, I'm not worried about her or her father.
Okay.
Liam. You're in the darkness, absorbed by your shadow. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Just kind of
Floating.
floating there right now.
I'm gonna call out. This can't be an accident.
It's not. Think
help.
about what you're doing.
That voice, I recognize it.
Yeah. It's who you call Patrick. What is our next step, Liam?
Everything's in place. I just need to be there. It must be coming to a head now.
So you want to go to your father's temple?
He's not my father.
You want to go to Ogma's temple?
Let's finish building that graveyard over there, huh?
Let's finish building the graveyard. Think it, and we will go.
I'm thinking about a particular shadow in the corner of that, the moody lit temple. At least off if there were corridors spiraling from the main chamber where we met him. I want to be far away from him because I trust other people.
Okay. So the way I see the temple is you come in and there are pillars that line the sides that are kind of decorated in various banners and accoutrements and things like that. And then there's the center statue to Agma with the pedestals and things like that, where you guys had your horrific birthrights given to you at. And then in between, like the shadows are kind of have like that negative space as they lead to different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of come out of one of those shadows, like in the back corner.
That's the
All
case
right.
for me.
I'm going to make some rolls. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll. You can choose the base attribute.
Is it subterfuge for stealth? I believe the skill.
Yes, subterfuge for stealth. Sorry.
Let's do presence, which I'm not good at, but
All right,
that's
that's
fitting.
works for me.
Uh-oh. I'm
You
in
get nothing?
danger.
You got a 1?
Yep. And no successes. Uh-oh.
All right. Astrid, give me a
Yeah, get to roll.
give me a roll to notice something.
All
You can
right.
make it up. I can't see the
Probably.
character sheet right now. It won't pop for me.
Duh. I don't know. Composure? No. I don't know. There's no like.
Give
Thing
me
for-
a composure plus resolve roll.
All right.
All right, no real danger because
Can't see shit.
she also didn't see you.
So focused on everything else.
With your one kind of overshined that the Valkyries didn't get anything, so the Valkyries also do not see anything. So you both suck at what you do, and no one sees anything. Liam, even though you come out of the shadows and you fall flat on your face, you see that you really don't see anything. It's an empty temple.
Nobody
And
here?
Just for the record, I am in Agma's form presently while invisible.
Oh, but you're invisible right now.
Yes.
Though.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. No, they're gone. You can't see shit. But we're gonna flash back to Vaya, who is bearing down on the entrance of the temple. You do see 2 temple attendants in the front that kind of like bow their heads to Nick, and before they can even say anything, he just moves his hand up in a violent arc, and 2 heads fall to the floor.
Oh.
Body still standing. X kind of murmurs, he's like, that's an act of war. And he's like, yeah, well, I don't fucking care anymore. He comes to the door. And he places his hand on the door, and he's like, Ogma, you let us in now, or I'm going to blow this fucking door down. The doors start to vibrate with a humming intensity. What are you doing,
Vaya.
Ogma?
I do shit. Opening the door.
Fuck that door. All right, what's Vaya doing?
I'm just kind of standing back, letting the boys do what they're gonna do. I'm not trying to interfere. They've made it quite clear that nobody's going to stop them from getting into that temple. So I will remind them that Agma needs to be stopped. If he breaks that final seal, we're in trouble. I would either tell them that like before or right now, depending on when I had an opportunity to.
All right. So Liam, what are you doing as you see the doors start to vibrate really, really fast?
What are we doing, Belial? You still
You
waiting?
Wait for the opportune time. Don't worry. This is where things get good.
That's what I do. I
Nick,
wait.
his fury unable to be contained anymore, the doors slowly start to crack and then explosion. Inward shrapnel flies at you. Make me a pure dex roll, Astrid, to see if you're not hit by them.
Some skill in that.
Keep in mind that you have personally 5 momentum because I've been keeping track of your momentum versus Vaya and Liam's
Ah,
because you are separated.
fair. Okay.
All right. So you can you can spend 2 momentum and make another roll, but you're stuck with that roll.
Yeah, well, I can't get any worse.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2. So that leaves me with what, 3?
Yeah.
I got 1 success at least.
All right. With 1 success, you're able to maintain your invisibility and not be skewered by shrapnel that flies in. Nick and X kind of walk through the smoke. You see the bodies and heads separated from said bodies of your temple attendants lying not too far from the door.
Gonna have to have a talk about that.
So, is anybody doing anything?
I'm waiting.
I'm not stupid. I'm not stepping into there until I see what these 2 boys are going to do.
Vaya, give me a composure plus resolve roll. While you're doing that, X and Nick step in, and Nick kind of starts screaming. He's like, Agma, show your ugly fucking mug right now. Astrid, you kind of feel like a presence behind you, and you hear your father's voice in your head. He's like, you step forward, or I'm going to have to make an appearance. You don't just come into my house and piss on the rug and not expect anything to happen. It's now or never, daughter.
It's less than ideal. I'm going to move from my spot. And where are Nick and X at the moment? Are they still at the door? Or are they like in the temple?
They kind of both flanked each side of the door as they walked in. You do notice a jackal-headed figure behind Vaya, though. Before this happens, does anything... What are you all doing? Like, tell me your positions on what you're doing.
I'm moving to get kind of like behind Nick and X, like in between them, to make my appearance.
Liam has
Like I
put
poofed.
every ounce of his being into obeying the next order that his boss gives him because he knows he can't do any of this without him. So he's waiting for a command, and he's made it quite clear with him.
All right. And Vaya?
I am simply staying probably about 10 feet behind the boys. Probably at this point behind X, even though he's the one that's tried to hurt me. He seems to be a little more in control of his anger at this point. And I have my daggers drawn.
All right. So, as you're standing there, you feel a cold metallic grip form around the back of your neck. Suddenly, you're pulled back. This is Vaya, by the way. Did you think that piddly little chain that you carry in your hand would be enough to keep me down? And then you see Heba throw Vaya clear past X and Nick as she steps in, jackal mask forming around her own face. Nick cracks his neck once to the left, once to the right, his own jackal form coming out of nowhere, along with X behind him. Now, children, this is where things get interesting. Because we're gonna burn this whole temple to the ground and get me some fucking answers. Heba holds her hands down to the side and axes form at each one as she drags them coming up to Vaya. She throws one at the altar where you're standing, Astrid. And she throws one at the shadows where you're standing, Liam.
Right?
What are you doing?
Do I need to, do something to not get hit, or is she in
You know what?
in
You
the
can make a
vicinity?
dex roll
I
if you
would
want
like
to dodge. It will
Yeah.
knock you out of invisibility.
I have something called Death by Teacup, which is specifically
As do
for the
I.
use of improvised weapons. I also have Pistons for Fists and Epic Strength. I'm going to try to catch this thing.
All right. Go ahead and give me a.
Take it if there's dexterity involved.
No, it's going to be a strength because it's got some heft on it. This
Alright.
thing is coming at you. I'm just trying to. You can decide if between athletics or close combat if you want to try to wing it back.
Let's do close combat. That is 3 successes.
All right. With 3 successes, you kind of grab it, sidestep and grab it. That double shadowed hand just kind of coming to lay over yours. And then you hear it in your ear. Now is a good time.
So I would like to use the rest of my momentum as a boost to my dexterity and attempt to less combat dodge, roll out of the way, and more just sidestepping more godlike and gracefully.
Okay.
So So 5 with the bonus.
All right. So yeah, as you sidestep out of the way gracefully, Vaya, you're laying prone on your back. Heba's standing over top of you, looking down at you, like a jackal face is looking down at you. What are you doing?
So she's got both of her arms currently entertained with other activities, correct?
Who? Heba?
Heba? Yeah, because she's throwing them.
Uh, yeah. Well, she kind of released one axe by the time she was over top of you, and the other one was already. So one arm's kind of already down by the side, and the other one's in midair.
Okay. Dang it. And we know the jackals want to break the seals.
You're
at
not
least I'm
really
pretty
sure what the
sure.
jackals want at this point.
I'm pretty sure the jackals want to break the seals.
You're kind of questioning everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Liam
I
is
gotta
just
go
trying
off
to-
something.
Liam trusts one person right now, and it's Vaya, so that's who he's targeting next. Is Heba.
All right.
She is actually going to try to use persuasion and composure to convince Heba that we are on her side, that we didn't know this is where she stood.
All right, that's gonna be a really hard roll.
I know, because I tried to kill her.
Do you have momentum?
Right.
But she knows that I'm impulsive and make stupid mistakes.
This is also the second time you've tried to kill somebody in her group, so it's a super hard roll for you. But you can go ahead and make it for me.
Okay. Let's see how badly this goes.
Uh-oh.
4 successes.
She looks at you, and like a slot in the side eye kind of peels up, so she can look at you. And you feel this icy stare as her conviction starts to waver. Then it slides back down as she stomps into your stomach. Not good enough. She slides you over to kicks you towards the pillar. Looking up to Ogma, or the visage of Ogma in front of her. Now we finish what we started. Just me and you. A blade juts from her arm as she darts forward towards Ogma. I'm gonna need everybody to start giving me some rolls.
Oh, yeah?
All right, so Liam, what are you doing first off?
Well, I don't know who is doing what, but I think our plan is succeeding. We're just dying in the crossfire. I'm gonna take Vaya and try to get out of here, using the shadows. I'm gonna try to cross the space without moving to get Vaya out of this temple.
All right.
I would like to tell the Valkyries in my best Ogma impression, now's your chance, girls. Why don't you go get your prize?
They're already on it. The rolls I did earlier were attacks against Vaya. So as you were kicked into the pillar, a huge embracive hand grasp you around the bottom calf and whip you up into the air. And as you're in mid-air, you're struck down by the blunt end of a spear back into the ground. You hit with such a loud thud that smoke peels up from around the impact site. 2 massive Valkyries stand flying in midair amongst all the carnage. One with 6 wings, one with 4. One looks back towards Liam. So, little boy likes to play at being God. Its spear draws back. Let's see how well that plays for you. And it takes off towards you.
Vaya, if she can, will try to throw her chain out to grab the Valkyrie out of the air that's charging at Liam.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay, close combat?
Close combat works. They are
Okay.
within
Might
close
or
combat.
dexterity?
Your choice. Because both will play a very different role depending on what you choose. While that happens, Astrid, what are you doing as Ogma? You're getting encroached on by an angry demigod.
Very good question. What was her name again? I just
Heba.
Heba. That's it. That's the one. Heba. I believe there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. My son's having a bit of a tantrum right now and is trying to put all his problems on me. Why would I do anything like this? Honestly.
Are you just trying to talk her while she is like within 5 feet of you, closing in with a blade jutting from her gauntlet, like pulled back like she's going to skewer you. Both Valkyries are busy. What are you doing?
That was me as she was like initially coming towards me. So was she
Right.
walking or like?
She's running.
Oh, she's running. All right. Well, as she gets closer, I'm going to attempt to disappear again
Okay.
and like move around to behind her a little bit and then
Alright.
reappear. I don't know what you want me to.
Go ahead and give
For that.
me your composure plus presence roll to disappear. And once if you successfully disappear, then you should be able to. It wouldn't be a problem to move around behind her, like sidestepping.
Yeah. One success.
All right. With one success, you are able to disappear, and then you move behind her. What are you doing?
Still keeping up my Ogma persona. Honestly, let's just take a second, figure this out. I guarantee you I am not your enemy.
She like hearing the voice from behind her, she like front flips, not even taking a look behind her. She just kind of front flips and flings her leg out to kick at you. See what she gets. She clips you in the jaw. And it sends you sprawling. When that happens, Liam, real quick, what are you doing?
Is this thing still headed towards me?
Yeah, you got a Valkyrie heading towards you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that sharp angle that they're flying down, trace a shadow, and throw this axe into a shadow with the hope that it emerges from their blind spot up towards them.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and
What do you want for that? Dex, and it's not quite firearms. I guess it's going to be an improvised weapon.
give me athletics.
Athletics. for a good throw. I like it. Badly. As bad as it could be.
And as you sling the axe down towards a shadow, it just kind of clings off the ground. You missed the shadow. You threw it directly into the light.
Whoops.
The voice scolding in your head. No, you're doing this all wrong. What you need to do, you see, you need to say my name. Let me come out and handle them. Let Daddy come out and play.
Just let me know when. I think that's my turn, though.
Your turn. Vaya, what are you up to?
Like I said, I'm throwing my chain out, trying to grab the Valkyrie that is going at Liam.
All right. You already made that roll, correct?
Yes, 3.
All right, so you got 3. There's a dex roll. You successfully grapple it around her ankle.
Okay.
This thing is moving at supernatural speeds.
That's
So
what I
you're
was hoping
being
for.
yanked along with it.
That's what I was hoping for. Good.
In the pool, you kind of get barely miss the tip of this spear.
Okay.
The Valkyrie that was slicing at you does not look too pleased.
Good.
But doesn't have the time to really pay attention as
Whew.
she's attacked by X and Nick. She kind of definitely is going between the two, fighting off both attacks at once and returning her own in kind. So this looks like just another day for her. She's not sweating it either way.
Okay, so I'm out from underneath her spear, which was part of my goal. Am I slowing the one going down towards Liam at all?
No, it's as if she's moving by some other means than bodily strength.
Okay, if I understand my chain correctly, is it just the chain or is my hand actually physically at the end of the chain?
Yeah, so the chain, like, think of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
It ruptures from your palm, and that's where I got this from.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm getting the crap beat out of me being pulled at this point. And I'm not doing anything to slow her down going at Liam.
No, it looks as if she's having no problems.
Okay, I guess my other action would just to be to try to I had my daggers out. Have I maintained control of any of them?
Yeah, they're part of your hands. Like,
But I can't throw those ones, correct?
no.
I'm going to try to pull myself, like keep the chain around her leg, and pull myself on top of her.
Okay, so you're gonna try to utilize your retract it into your arm.
It into my arm and
pull.
end up on top of her.
All right, so I'll give it to you. Depending on how well this goes, will depend on how it plays.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and give me your roll. We're gonna say it's a dexterity plus athletics.
Athletics. Okay.
It's pulled back into you.
Okay, here we go. 5 successes, and I have gymnastics as my descriptor for athletics.
All right, I gave you a challenge rating of 4, so 5, you beat it. Do you want to describe how this goes or anything?
So she starts to pull herself, retract the chain back into her arm, pulling herself onto the Valkyrie. and when she gets to her legs, she pulls down, digging essentially her daggers into her legs and attempting to cause as much harm as she can and to like claw her way up to her back. Her intention is to try to get rid of the wings.
All right. So with that, like with your action of moving, you're able to claw your way onto the Valkyrie. You're not quite able to start slashing at her wings yet, and you are moving at really high speeds. So we're gonna have to try that on your next turnabout.
Sounds good.
But Astrid, you just got kicked in the chin and sent flying backwards by an incredibly nimble jackal, Heba. What are you doing?
Do I need to do anything to maintain my guys? So I just got kicked in the face.
No, I'm gonna say that you're pretty good with it. It's solidified. At this point, it's really up to your next play because I mean, she's not listening to reason. She's trying to kill you.
I'm actually going to since the people I was intending to see me and take advantage of me being there are otherwise predisposed, I'm going to go ahead and actually drop the disguise.
Okay.
As I like hit the ground to make it seem like I lost the disguise because of getting hit. I'm going to roll for dexterity to see if I can stay on my feet after being kicked.
Okay.
2 successes.
Yeah. I mean, so as you get kicked in the chin, like you kind of lift up, and like your combat training takes over. As you land, you just kind of bring your knees to your chest and roll into the momentum and pop back out on your feet. Like, do you want to do something cool, like pull out your gun or something as you're flying backwards?
Yeah, that sounds a pretty practical thing to do. So like, as I'm coming up to my feet, draw my weapon, just level it at her. Now, as Astrid, not Agma, hoping that will throw her off at least a little bit.
You can't really see anything in her face as she turns to face you, because it's covered by the mask. But she still kind of makes her way towards you.
I'm going to say one last time, me and my father are not your enemy. You being here is all Liam and Vaya's doing. If you want me to shoot you, I will.
Just be a good girl and call your daddy for me. She's going to take off at you again. If you want, you can go ahead and shoot a round at her.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot.
All right.
I'm gonna aim for center mass.
Give me Dex plus firearms, please.
One success.
All right. You
Fuck ton of fours. What the fuck?
Your winger, her shoulder kind of like is nicked back, but it doesn't look like it pierced through the armor she's wearing. She was slowed a little bit, but you'll have to wait until next turn to make another attack. And finally, we're back to Liam.
This thing's flying at me. I imagine I have a split-second reaction.
Mm-hmm.
from this corner where my shadow is, this failed strike. My bare hands. I know I have a gun on my side, but I'm going to try. I'm just going to say, Father Belial.
So as the Valkyrie is coming towards Liam, he kind of is sinking into the ground. And it's at a disproportionate speed as with the Valkyries coming at him to what he's sinking. But as he's sinking, he's appearing on the altar. Except this time he's taller. He's enwrapped in that armor you saw him before, Astrid. And as he fully disappears into the shadow, he throws up a tentacled arm into the ceiling of the temple. You hear like a double-toned voice. Oh, you thought you could just watch the show, Ogma. And with a forceful arm, he pulls down Ogma, almost out of the ether. But as he does, you notice like a tear in the sky as Ogma lands on the ground with a cry. You see, children, this is how it's done. The black tentacle wraps around Ogma's throat. And with this, the seventh seal is broken, and I am reborn. Ogma's neck snaps, blood pouring from his mouth. The ground starts to shake. A blinding light piercing from the sky. You realize the presence of divinity is flooding in, but it's not enough. Darkness oozes around Liam and pushes forth into the world. Everything goes black. Everybody is pushed outward. I have chosen my champion, and we will bathe the earth in shadow. Go, Liam. Kill them all. Start with the gods. As the smoke settles from this explosion, it's like a comet had hit where you all stood. You're all blown in different directions. The Valkyries are nowhere to be seen. But in the center of the impact stands Liam, his skin obsidian black, almost as if it absorbs all light that touches it. And permanent clouds of shadow just roll out from his form.
It's Vaya.
Vaya's laying on the edge of the crater. She doesn't look dead, but she doesn't look like she's too well either.
I'm gonna try to pick her up.
It's almost like instantly that you're there.
I like that, but I won't revel in it. I'm gonna try to pick her up. See if she gets up on her own. Is she conscious?
She's conscious.
So I would try to stand. I don't know how bad my injuries are at this point.
I mean, going through the mental checklist, nothing's broken. You don't feel like anything's hemorrhaged inside. You don't feel right, though.
Okay.
Something's straining against the inside of you.
I kind of laugh a little and cough up a little blood as I do. I think I might have pissed my mom off just a little too much this time.
Kill her then. Where's Astrid?
Astrid's gone. Nowhere around.
Where'd I go?
But when you look, as you and Vaya emerge from the top of the crater, the Jekylls, they're strewn about. There's more than just one. There's 40 or 50 just kind of pulling themselves out of the rubble at this point. And then you see something in the sky. Setting down softly is Astrid, accompanied on either side by two Valkyries, one with 6 and one with 4 wings, completely unharmed, all 3 of them. But behind them, stepping out of various portals, various shadows, cracks in the earth, disrupted buildings, are gods. They stand behind Astrid, thunder crackling around Zeus, ravens soaring around Odin, Athena clad in battle armor, Hermes vibrating with speed, Anubis standing tall with his staves, all ready for battle. Whatever's just happened, whatever you have become, Liam, you now face all of the gods of creation.
We do. I look to Vaya.
Think you can do it?
I think we can.
Then let's do it.
So as you ready yourself, you notice the black tendrils of your shadow touching each and every jackal that lays about you. Each one, you know, as your shadow touches them, they fall to your control. And this, you realize the big 3 were building you an army. And that's your army that you stand in opposition of the gods with. Vaya and Liam on one side, and Astrid and the gods on the other. Between the 3 of you, you bring hell to earth, and you destroy everything. In pursuit to stop Liam, the gods leave none spared. Astrid, you're so caught up, you don't even realize how you've ascended to godhood amongst this war. But you've claimed the world that you used to call your home. Vaya, you killed your own mother. After the first clash with the gods, Liam pulled back. The shadow in him gave you something wholly other, pulling apart the divinity from you and replacing it with the shadow of creation. You fought aside next to him, for centuries. You lost count of the years after a while. And Liam, you brought calamity to the earth. You not only destroyed Eden, you wiped out 75% of the human population. There's no great cities that stand anymore. There's no temples to gods. You've made it your personal mission to wipe out anything of the old world. There's new cities being built, though, over the last 100 or so years. Cities of pure darkness rise from the ground, being built from unseen hands. A massive black throne is where you sit.
It's not where I sit. I built it for Vaya.
Vaya sits on the throne while you lead the armies. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our Scion game.
Woo!
I do hope that everybody had a good time, and I was able to tie some things up for everybody. I had a great time.
I can't
Yeah.
even. I simply cannot.
I want to thank everybody so much for allowing me to put them through horrible things for 11 sessions and concluding it with
Just everything. Just everything. That
yeah, but that was Scion, guys. I am super happy that you came to see and came to hang out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's the last Scion game, so I'm going to let the cast go ahead and give their full exits. Go ahead, start us off, Ashley.
It's been great playing with you guys. I really did enjoy it, and this ending was epic. Great job, Daniel.
Crystal.
I wish I could have been here for more of the games than I was, but I'm glad I was here for as long as I was. I had no idea how it was going to end, but it was well worth the wait. And I hope we get to play again.
And Ian.
Yeah, that epilogue just blew my mind, and I fully expected all of about none of it. I thought Liam was gonna die, kind of pathetically, and his plans would have been thwarted. But no, it was absolutely bonkers. So hats off to you. I think that was my first conclusion of a campaign as a player of a game ever. And it set highly unrealistic expectations about what I can do as a player now. I will compare everything to that as I took over the world and destroyed 3/4 of the population. I played Liam, who transcended to something I can't even describe. And you would think it had been like 80 sessions, but it had been a crisp like 8. So you can catch me here on Sundays playing Pathfinder. It gets a little bit bonkers, but not quite like that. That was incredible. Thank you, Daniel. I got nothing.
All right, guys. Once again, I'm Daniel.